Good evening, good afternoon, hello, hello. Hope you are all doing well. 2023 NHL Draft. Let's have a fun one, folks. We're gonna be. I've got it behind me. You're gonna be able to see about the right third of the screen. I don't want the chat to be there. Let's get rid of that. You're gonna be able to see about the right third of my screen, and you're gonna notice me looking over there to see what's going on a lot of the time, because I have a different setup temporarily, and normally the TV was here, and now I got to deal with the old turnaround to see what's going on, but that's okay. And the thing is, we're probably going to know who gets picked before they say it on TV, because usually these things come up on Twitter pretty quick. I'm probably going to fire up TweetDeck so that we can get some good stuff going here. Let's see. I want live tweets. Good. I've got hashtag Canucks ready. I've got my notifs ready. We're ready to go. Layout, as you can tell, is the exact same as before. On my left, we've got all the picks. The plan, by the way, apparently Pierre Dorion and Patrick Allvin are having a pre-draft chat. Who knows what that means? Ottawa is... where does Ottawa even pick? Does Ottawa not have a first? Okay, well, who knows what they're talking about then. On my left, like I was saying, we will put the picks in as we go. Above me, any breaking news that has happened, which I'll try to keep updated over the next little while. And on my right is the consensus top available. Now, this top available list might be different from what you are expecting. Because you're probably seeing like Sandin Pellikka ahead of Reinbacher, which like lately hasn't been, and like Simashev down at 15. Like just looking at the defensemen, it's not really where things have sort of been lately. However, this is all from a consensus list that Eyes on the Prize, which is like a Montreal Canadiens blog, they put this together every year where they basically go to 16 of the top like mock draft / ranking sources. So whether that's like Sportsnet is one of them, The Athletic, Bob McKenzie's list, Hockey Elite Prospects, whatever other ones do those lists, they basically compile all of them and average them out, and they actually give a range, which is really nice too. So what I have up on the side, which you can't see, but I will keep you updated with as we go, it'll tell us what their highest ranking was out of these 16 different rankings, and what their lowest ranking was as well. So for someone like Bedard, his highest ranking was 1. His lowest ranking was also 1 across all 16 lists. So, and then you might get someone like Michkov, whose best was number 2 and his worst is number 5, right? Or you might have David Reinbacher, whose best is 6 and his worst is 23, and then he ends up landing at the about 11 range. So that is what this list is. It will update as we go throughout the night. I've got the next 20 available at all times. Of course, for those of you who are tuning in that aren't familiar with me, I am a Canucks fan, and this is going to be kind of a Canucks-centric reaction, but I try to stay educated on what's going on in the rest of the league. So I'm really just like, look, we kind of know like the Canucks are probably going to stay at 11. They're probably going to pick a defenseman, and like, so that's not super interesting, right? However, it will be fairly interesting to see how everything shakes up, right? We know Bedard's going 1. We've heard some iffiness around Anaheim at 2, although it seems like Fantilli's sort of been the slam dunk for a while, but apparently they do like Leo Carlson a lot. The big question is really, when is Matvei Michkov going to come off the board? Obviously, you know, a very interesting development that'll be, as he's locked up for 3 more years in the KHL, which is always a little bit scary. But he is a heck of a hockey player, as are everyone on this list, to be fair. So the plan last year, I went the full 4 hours of the first round of the NHL draft. It was about a 4-hour, 9-minute stream. I looked it up. The plan for today is to play it by ear. We're gonna see how this goes. If the Canucks make their pick, we're having a great time. Like, things are flowing. It's interesting. We're trying to see, like, maybe Michkov's still available. We're trying to see where it goes. Sure, we'll keep her going. We'll keep her going for as long as we are having fun. And if we are saddened by the Canucks pick and we are miserable after that, then maybe we cut. Who knows? However, programming note, after the Canucks do make their selection at 11, which is probably an hour and a half away. Let's be honest. Probably an hour and a half away. Canuck Clay will be joining. Ideally, he's planning on joining for at least a few minutes for his instant reaction, which will be fun as well. Maybe we make a little YouTube short out of that. We'll see. We've got Kyle on the TV screen walking around the draft floor. I don't know when they will technically be on the clock. I don't know. Like, again, you'd think it said 4 o'clock, right? You'd think maybe, the clock should start then. Of course, they're going to do all this preamble. Justin renewing his membership for the 26th month. Thank you very much, Justin. If Bedard falls to 11, Parker abruptly ends stream. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be going crazy. That's obviously not gonna happen. But I will be on NHLshop.com or whatever source I would buy a jersey from and be on that. That's not gonna happen. However, if Michkov falls to 11, or maybe even like Zach Benson or Ryan Leonard, if there's a big drop, which there always is, there's always someone who falls a little more than you expect, then I will be very excited. And that's the thing, right? I mean, I didn't do a stream. This is before I was doing these streams, but the Quinn Hughes draft year, right? I was in this very room, I think. Yeah, I was in this very room when the Arizona Coyotes selected Barrett Hayton at 5th overall. And I remember because Zadina was supposed to be like 2 or 3, and then Hughes was still there. And I was like, okay, well, the Canucks getting Zadina or Hughes, and I was fired up, and then it ended up being Hughes, and that was very fun. So let's see if there's a faller. That's, again, I like these lists. The lists, because here's the thing. Have I watched the tape? No. Did I watch the World Juniors? Yes. So that's why I know some of these guys. But I've read all the articles, I've read all the stuff and everything, and honestly, I just, I trust these lists more than I trust myself. So we're riding or dying by this list. We've got Gary out there, and David. I guess this is David's last draft, David Poyle. I think he's retiring. And you can see him on the side there. Welcome to the draft. The Blackhawks are on the clock. Whatever. He's doing a full speech. You know what? I think I don't even want to hear Gary. I'm turning you down. So, on the left, the 32 picks that are upcoming. If there are any trades made, this is, I believe, up to date, like up to today. No firsts have been traded in the last little while. There's been some seconds and thirds, but that's not an issue. However, if there are moves made, I will be swapping in those logos. So we'll see. Other notes that we've had today, a big question mark is Montreal. The Montreal Canadiens picking 5th overall, which should be, Bedard, Fantilli, and Carlson will be gone. We don't know if Michkov will be there or not. However, they have been entertaining quite a few offers, apparently. I think there was something that they had like 4 offers that they were mulling over or something like that. So that could be big. There could be some big shakeup with that. Kill that light there. That light kind of looked good. So we'll see how that shakes up. Because that could be a trading up possibility for some teams if they want to go get a guy like Michkov. Of course, Michkov is usually fairly projected to not get past Washington in most of these mock drafts if he somehow gets that far down. So maybe, who knows, maybe Philadelphia gets some calls as well on moving up. I don't think I fired up Twidget. Let me see if I can do that really quick here. Let me try to grab Twidget and paste Twidget. Yes. and then go back. Let's see if I can fire up Twidget, and then we can get some of your chat comments on screen and be able to react to those. Did they change how this works? Did they update this Twidget app that has never been updated before? This is exciting. So I will be right to your questions in a short moment. Let me pull this up. Yes, you can view my YouTube account. Logged in. Start. Nope, the app did not update. It's just been a long time. Let me find the link to my stream so I can copy it into here. Connect. And we should have, hopefully, some chat. Maybe not. It is loading. It's taking a while to load. Maybe I got my hopes up. Okay, let's go into some questions here while we are waiting. Dravakian. I'm going to see if I can zoom in on this a bit. If Vancouver can draft one of Reinbacher, Willander, or maybe Simachev, so one of the essentially top 3D if you're ignoring ASP, at least we have a decentish prospect that could be NHL ready in 3 to 4 years' time. I mean, that is fair, right? Like, that is sort of the idea behind most of these, especially the defenseman prospects. And there goes my TV. See if I can fix this. Oh, we're back. Love this wireless TV garbage. Ryan Ross says, if any of more, Michkov, Reinbacher, Benson, or Dvorsky are available at 11 and we don't take one of them, I will be sad. I mean, it feels like maybe one of them gets there. Maybe. Like Benson, like if you just use the rankings, right? Benson 6. Like Reinbacher seems like the guy who will be there out of all of those. So maybe. I do wish this this Twidget worked. It used to work. I'm gonna see if I can get a different link here. But it doesn't look like that's how this works. See if I copy video URL. Try to connect it there. No, I don't get, I can't put comments on screen. Oh, yes, I can. It worked. Okay. Let's scroll up a bit. And now I can use this as my comment machine. All right. Erwin. Oh, is it not working? One sec. All right. Chicago Blackhawks are on the clock. Oh, maybe it's because it's like partially cut out. Wait. No, not working. Darn. Okay. Either way, we'll just read the comments then. Let's see here. Erwin was saying he's here for the stare down of the GM that didn't pick me as expected. I think that was sort of a one-time thing with Shane Wright. Justin's saying that Tyler Bertuzzi supposedly hitting free agency. That makes sense. TW says, I hope everyone in chat is booing Bettman. I'm sorry, I didn't boo him. That's my bad. Sharms is asking who the guy I most likely want to see the Canucks draft. I mean, Michkov is a pipe dream. I've sort of resigned myself to one of Reinbacher or Willander. I don't know much on Simashev. Like, he's pretty low on this list that I've been looking at. Like, he's 15th. I mean, so is Willander. Willander's 20th. The fact that everything we've heard from the Canucks is defenseman scares me a little bit, right? Because BPA, you got to pick the best player available. And I think barring a big faller, right? Barring a guy like Benson or Leonard falling down, maybe even Oliver Moore, we've heard that maybe they like him. Seems unlikely, and they're probably taking a defenseman. Which isn't that flashy, isn't that fun, but it might be good. Justin says the Vegas traded Riley Smith to the Penguins for a third, only to re-sign Barbashev for 5 years. Are they gearing up for a repeat? It sounds like they're trying to run her back. It makes, they need some salary room. It looks like The pick is in. The Blackhawks are coming up to the stage. I've already written Connor Bedard up. Oh my God, up there. Let's see if we get shocked. Turn my sound up a little bit. The camera's on Connor Bedard. Big sigh from Bedard. But, like, we know what this is going to be. You got Kyle Davidson. He's going to do the whole, thanks, Nashville, for having us. It's going to be Bedard. What else do we got here? Jeremy says best forward available or best defenseman. If you have to pick one, if best player available isn't an option in your question, Jeremy, then I would say best defenseman. Defensemen have more value. Here we go. Here's the pick. And my TV cutout. It is Connor Bedard. Shocker. Big surprise. It's always the thing is, if I was a Blackhawks fan leading up to this, I'd be like nervous. Like, what if they go off the board? So obviously Bedard, no surprise there. So 1 down, 31 to go. Let's see here. D-men take longer to develop, says Jeremy in response to that. That makes sense. The Canucks also are going to take a while to develop too, right? I mean, would you rather a defenseman who's going to take 3 or 4 years to develop? The thing is, so do most forwards, right? You look at a Höglander or a Podkolzin or like most guys who are drafted in sort of that 10 to 15 range, they aren't usually impact players year 1 and usually not year 2 either. So it's maybe an extra year or 2, but it's not like a huge difference. Ryan says, how do you feel about trading back and taking either Simashev or Braden Yager? Trading back, I don't hate it. The thing is, I think, like, what, you're going to trade back to, let's say, 15, 16? I mean, I don't think Calgary would trade up. I don't know. They're kind of going to be garbage. Like, you trade back and maybe pick up a second. Like, what's worth more, right? A player that's a bit better, or a player that's a bit worse, and a second round pick, which is going to be a player that's probably not very, like, has a real chance of never making an impact. Maybe you hit on that too, right? Or like really the only scenario in which you trade back, in my mind, is your number one guy, the guy who you want. You are like 90% sure he's going to fall to that pick you're going to trade to, right? That's the only time it really makes sense to me. Let's see here. Kelsey is sad. Seeing Connor go to Chicago. That is sad. Fangirl asked, do you think the Canucks signed Soucy in free agency? Everything sort of points to that, which I'm okay with as long as the price is reasonable. Like under $3 million reasonable, not higher, and not more than 4 years. If you're hitting 4 years or you're breaking the $3 million barrier, I'm getting a little nervous on Carson Soucy. David says the Habs last season featured Slavkovsky drafted first, who ended up averaging during the regular season just over 1/4 point per game. That's the thing, right? Like these guys, like even Shane Wright, right? Like how did Shane Wright do? I mean, he tore up. Like he played really well in the AHL, but I mean, you know, he played 8 games, had 2 points. Went back to the OHL, had 2 points per game. That's great. And then in the AHL, in the playoffs, he had 9 points in 24 games, right? And he was like supposed to be the number 1, and he ended up being number 4. But yeah, you look at last year's draft, like no one really had an impact like last year. They just didn't, right? You go back to 2021 and you have 4 or 5 guys who have made an impact, maybe 6. Power, Beniers, McTavish, Kent Johnson. Cole Cylinders played a lot of games, but you know he hasn't been fantastic. And Wyatt Johnston was 0.5 point per game for Dallas, and that's it, right? I mean, like JJ Moser, I guess, is doing great in Arizona, and he was 60th overall. But like, yeah, waiting, getting a defenseman, uh, especially higher up in the draft, like they usually convert in a fairly reasonable time frame. It's not like they're that much slower than forwards, especially if they're good, right? Let's go back to 2020 for an example, right? Top defenseman off the board, Jake Sanderson, played a full season last year. He had 32 points in 77 games, right? The next defenseman off the board was Jamie Drysdale. He's already played 113 NHL games. Keep in mind, there's only been a couple of seasons, right? Let's see, who else was there? And then there was no defenseman picked till Caden Gooley, who's played 44 games. Then Braden Schneider, who's played 124 games. The only defenseman who was picked in the first round that hasn't played like a significant amount of NHL games is Shakir McCalmadulin. And like everyone else has. So like I think the whole thing of like defensemen take longer to develop. Nowadays it's maybe to get to like an elite level, sure, but nowadays like young defensemen are playing games. Chris is saying deep draft, second round pick could still be good. Absolutely. Yeah, again, more lottery tickets is better. But I also think picking the better player is better too. So it's only if you are sure that your guy or someone equal to your guy is still going to be there. Also, Fagro bring up the Canucks might have interest in Miles Wood. I don't know. Does anyone here care about Miles Wood? Like what? He's a winger. He's 27. He's like a third line winger. We don't need more. We don't need more third line wingers, guys. Ugh. Like the Canucks have so many like top 6 wingers. It's absurd. Or at least top 9 wingers. I don't have TweetDeck open anymore. Let me pull this up so we can see what's going on. Blackhawks did pick Connor Bedard, in case you were wondering. I do still have Bedard as my number 1 available. I should change that. And what's magic is if when I get rid of Bedard... Oh, I thought the next one would come up. I have to manually grab him. Okay. Andrew Cristal is now part of our top 20 available. Seeing if we have any leaks on pick number 2. As pick number 2 is a questionable one with the Anaheim Ducks. The pick is in. So we are waiting to see what they do. Friedman is now interviewing Kyle Davidson. This is going to take a while. We are 23 minutes in. A single pick has been made. This is gonna be a long one, folks. I hope you're strapped in. Grab yourself a beverage, a snack. Do I have a snack? I've got a Kind bar, so I'm ready. This has to get me through the whole show. 1 peanut butter dark chocolate Kind bar. Oh, I have another granola bar. Also a Nature Valley. Sweet. I am set. And a 7-Up mini. All right, folks. Well, if you have any questions, Canucks related, NHL related, or otherwise, now's the time. Dan Brazier says, if Benson slips to 11, does Vancouver take him? It's an interesting question because we haven't heard anything around Benson going to Vancouver, right? But also there's no reason for Benson to be available then. So if Benson is for some reason available there and is a big faller, there's probably a reason for it. And they go Carlson. So the talk around maybe not going with Adam Fantilli has come to fruition. Wow. That is surprising. Every single one of the mocks for Adam Fantilli had him at number 2. However, the Anaheim Ducks did not have him at number 2. That is surprising. So Columbus should be theoretically sprinting to the podium. absolutely sprinting to the podium. Let's talk about Leo Carlsson. Leo Carlsson, let's see if I can pull up his page. Where's his page? Here we go. So Leo Carlsson, 18 years old, 6'3", 194, a big boy for being 18. Basically, every single thing had him ranked 3 or 4. It looks like 9 of the sources had him ranked 3rd. 7 of the sources had him ranked 4th. Basically, him and Michkov, and then Michkov was all of the other 3s or 4s. Every source was Carlsson 3, Michkov 4, or Michkov 3, Carlsson 4. But all of them had Fantilli number 2. And Anaheim decided not to go the Fantilli route. Carlsson, I mean, is going to be a contributor day one, right? Most likely. I mean, SHL, played for Orebro, 25 points in 44 games in a men's league at 17 to 18 years old. His birthday's in December, so he was 17 for the first half of the season, 18 for the last half. And then in the playoffs, he had 9 points in 13 games. 8 of those were assists, but that's still some good production. And then he played in the World Juniors, 6 points in 7 games, 3 goals, 3 assists. He also played in the World Championship for Sweden, earlier in the offseason. He had 3 goals and 2 assists in 8 games. So no doubt really that he's going to be a really good player. But surprising that, they did that. Surprising they made that move. So maybe, hey, someone want to trade up to 3? Let's get some spice. Let someone move to 3, because that would be very interesting. So yeah, Columbus should be. I'm surprised the pick's not in yet. To be fair, Columbus should be sprinting to the podium before something else can go wrong. What else do we got here? Jazz Grant says Fantilli with the Jackets is a crime. I don't care that. I don't care about the Jackets at all. They've never been good while I've been alive, essentially, right? So I have no ill will towards the Columbus Blue Jackets. Let's see here. Jazz Grant says maybe the Ducks see something we don't. The thing is, when everybody has it the same way, right? Because everyone goes in and sort of ideally with an open mind and makes their own list. If you are the one guy who sees something different, maybe you're the one that's wrong. However, maybe not. You know, maybe they see him as Michael Jordan in the movie Air, right? Maybe they see something that no one else does and they know he's going to be a star. Columbus still does not have the pick in, but apparently there are, quote, a lot of smiles at the Columbus Blue Jackets table. Let's see if there's any news coming up. Matt Sakaris says, poor Adam Fantilli drops a spot and now has to live in Columbus instead of California. Disagree. Okay, here's the thing. California, weather, great. Honestly, if you're playing in like LA, you can live somewhere bougie and you're making good money. Sure, fine, awesome. Anaheim sucks. Anaheim has Disneyland and nothing else. And I will die on that hill. When I went to a game, the one time I've ever been into the Honda Center in Anaheim, we got into town at noon. We had 7 hours to kill before the Canucks played the Ducks. And there was nothing to do except spend like $300 each at Disneyland, which we weren't going to do. So my dad and I spent 5 hours drinking in a Dave & Buster's and playing arcade games because there was nothing else to do in Anaheim unless you want to like go all the way to the beach. Terrible town. At least Columbus, there's things to do, right? And it's a fine town. And he gets to play with Goudreau, which is also cool. Columbus's pick is in. Now, how crazy are they going to get? Are they going to go Michkov? It's probably going to be Fantilli. But let's see. Nerds POV says, do you think we're going to get Fantilli at 11? We'll find out right here. Doesn't Anaheim good weather? It's great. It's great weather, but there's nothing to do there. It's a garbage town. All right. Columbus is getting everybody up to the podium. A billion people. We'll see if it gets leaked because I don't want to. Although, so Darren Dreger responded to Sekeres' tweet and said, unless Columbus takes Smith, shrug emoji. So who knows? Maybe Columbus is going to go a little crazy and take a guy like Will Smith. I'm waiting to see if a tweet comes up. Anaheim also did not reveal their new jersey, which they were supposed to do. Jaskran says, doesn't Columbus want to compete, so they go Fantilli for sure? Maybe. Yeah, like Michkov doesn't make much sense if they're trying to quickly turn around, right? And it is official. They have taken Adam Fantilli. So Adam Fantilli going to Columbus. So the top three are off the board as expected, just in a slightly different order. So Fantilli going to Columbus, and they are probably stoked on that. So Adam Fantilli, let's take a note here. October 12th birthday, so he will be 19 at the start of this season, but who knows, maybe he's old enough to play. Every single one of the rankings that Elite Prospects shows is number 2. Every single one had him at number 2. He, of course, won gold with Canada at the World Juniors. 5 points in 7 games there. University of Michigan, he put up 65 points in 36 games, including 30 goals, 35 assists. Led the team by far. 17 points ahead of Luke Hughes, actually. And was an absolute star on that team. He's got the size. He's 6'2", 187. He'll fit right in. He's going to be good, man. You put him, like, eventually with Gaudreau, it's going to be sweet. Jaskran is guessing that Michkov goes to San Jose because they won't compete for a couple of years. Maybe. San Jose, like, I guess, well, San Jose is probably going to get out of the Erik Karlsson contract, at least partially. Who knows? Maybe they are trying to turn things around, but yeah, like, I don't know. I don't see the path to success for San Jose really anytime soon. So 33 minutes in, we have had 3 picks made. So we are on pace for 11 minutes per pick. So we're on pace for like 350 minutes. This is going to be 6 hours. It's not going to be 6 hours. Things will pick up once they get past like the top 5, hopefully. See if anything's popping around. Doesn't look like it, but we are on Michkov watch. Let me see if I can add another person to our big board. Callum Ritchie, welcome to the top available on the list. All right. Fangirl's asking if Moore will drop to 11th. It doesn't seem that likely, but plausible. Again, there will be someone in the top 10 available at 11, right? It happens every time. Someone will get picked early, right? Whether it's Sandy Pellica, whether it's Reinbacher, like most likely a defenseman, because there's going to be a team who wants a defenseman. You know, Detroit loves their D-men, but, someone will drop to 11 that is near the top of the list. I'm looking at TweetDeck. I'm trying to get breaking news for you guys, but nothing's really happening at this moment. Now, I'm seeing a probability thing based on value, I assume, and it has Michkov at like a 70% chance of going 4, which seems really unlikely. Jasker says, I wonder what Ducks fans feel. It's probably a bit stressful. Why are they showing NHL footage of... Who is this even? Okay, I don't know what's going on. EA threw money at Sportsnet to put some NHL footage in there. Do they have a contract in front of Bedard already? It looks like they literally have already given Bedard the contract. There's a photo of him sitting there with a bunch of paperwork in front of him and like his agent over his shoulder. That's interesting. Japan Force says the only way a forward drops is if a D-man gets picked soon. Yeah, that's honestly, that might be best case, right? Is a run on defenseman. I don't think it'll happen early, maybe around like 7 or 8. But yeah, who knows? Maybe someone like Arizona, we know they don't like draft boards very much, needs a D-man, and they go best D available. And then a team like St. Louis is like, oh no, we wanted a defenseman. We got to take the next best guy. And then suddenly, you start to have some falling happening. David says, David's talking about Anaheim. All right, fair enough. Fangirl asks, does Vancouver trade Garland or Beauvillier at the draft today? It seems unlikely. Draft trades are hard because you have so much stuff that you're worrying about, so much stuff to follow. Unless they're using one of them to trade up or down, maybe. The thing is, you have to think of their value, right? Are either Garland or Beauvillier fetching a first-round pick? No. If they were, then maybe you could, maybe then today they'd get moved for a first-round pick, right? But since they're not worth a first round pick, unless like maybe a really late first, right? Maybe they're trying to trade into like 30th overall or something. Then maybe they make a move like that, but that seems pretty unlikely. San Jose Sharks are in front of the big screen. Their pick is in. So here we go. We are on Michkov watch. Let's see what the Sharks decide to do. My guess is Michkov falls a bit. But we'll see. Do they have... Geez, all the Arizona Coyotes staff are all wearing matching suits and Arizona Coyotes belt buckles. That is hilarious. If only they had that money for an arena. Who are they going to go? I'm hoping it's not Michkov. I want some drama around Michkov. Just waiting. They're doing the whole spiel about, oh, thank you to Nashville for your hospitality. And it is not Matvei Michkov. It is Will Smith going to the San Jose Sharks. Yes, that Will Smith from your favorite films. He's off the board. Matvei Michkov is still available. And here comes the tumble. How far will Michkov fall? Apparently the French Prince, they're playing the Fresh Prince theme. Oh my God. As his walk up, which is sick. He doesn't look like Will Smith. He's a lot whiter, has a lot more hair, but apparently it's Will Smith going to San Jose. Let's see how far Michkov falls. This is exciting. I love this. Now it's exciting. All right. Jaskrin says Michkov has character issues, quotes, which some teams have made clear. Yeah, but like, does that mean anything? I don't think so. Japan Force says he's signed already. Did he actually? Nerds POV says, how likely is the Reinbacher still available at 11? I'd say like 50-50. Genuinely. Jaskrin says, what would a steal look like for Connor Garland? Second or third rounder? Question mark. That doesn't move the needle for me. I don't want to be getting rid of Garland for much, you know? I've got a sneeze brewing that I can't seem to get to go. Let's keep going. Let's see here. Justin is saying his agent's giving the sign here if you request a trade to Vancouver. Fair enough. Ryan says Fresh Prince. Why can't I say Fresh Prince? I keep saying French Prince. Fresh Prince of San Diego. More like San Diego is not close to San Jose. That's exact opposite sides of California. San Diego is the south. Fresh Prince of the Bay Area makes more sense. Yes. Jaskaran says it's going to be so hard to ask Will Smith questions. Will Smith be good? Moving on. Will Smith have enough bite? Thank you, Justin. Dan says I was hoping Smith would pretend to go in for a slap of Bettman, then pull it back to go in for the handshake. That would be sick. Let's see. Everyone says, how's Will Smith's slapper? That's good. That's funny. You guys are funny today. You guys are funny. So we're at the Montreal pick, which was supposed to have some drama because were apparently thinking of moving it. Maybe that was only if like a guy like Michkov was gone. Who knows who they're looking at? According to David Pagnotta, says not much activity at the Habs table right now. Kent Hughes and Jeff Gordon are sitting nice and calmly. Let's see what they do here at number 5. I want to see if I can get be able to show you guys tweets as they happen. But probably unlikely. I probably can't pull that off. I can try it though. What is next? Jimmy Grimmy wants Zach Benson for the Canucks. Well, according to this, like he might go next. Our list has him at 6. Best ranking was 5th. Worst ranking was 17th for Zach Benson. So there are some scouts that do not like him. He is small too, 159, 5'10", which makes me think, might be some dropping opportunity. Some draw opportunity. But really, I'm most interested in Matvei Michkov. Is Montreal going to go that route? Who knows? How quick is Montreal trying to turn things around? Because Michkov won't be here for the next 3 seasons, right? You're not going to see him in 2023, 24, 24, 25, 25, 26. You're not seeing Matvei Michkov until the 2026, 2027 season, right? So that's a little scary. That's like almost the end of Oliver Ekman-Larsson's contract before he got bought out. The Habs have kept number 5. The pick is in. Pick number 5. Did I unlock the last? I did. We've got 24 names on our big board. They are walking up to the podium, folks. Erwin says, what if Michkov falls to 11th? Question mark. It's not going to happen. I'd be stoked if it did. It's not going to happen. Japan says, I heard 5 teams running to Montreal. I thought it was 4, but yeah, even then, that's they made it themselves though. You got to wonder if it was like, okay, if Michkov falls, we want to trade down, right? Or if it was something else. Who knows? Jaskran asks why I'm not on the best players available. I didn't want to rig the list. It seemed unfair. Nerds is hoping for Reinbacher or Moore. All right. Here we go. Is it Carey Price making the pick? That's cool. Did they say David? Sorry, it cut. David Reinbacher going to Montreal. Whoa! 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 Hello there, Montreal. David Reinbacher, the 5th overall pick, 11th on our big board. Holy, a reach according to our list, but who knows? Maybe he'll be fantastic. That makes me a little sad because he seemed like he was sort of a lock to make it to Vancouver. Does this start the run on defenseman? Best D-man available on their list, at least, is gone. Oh boy, that is surprising because they went off the board last year. Let me just get everything together, right? Like, because they went off the board last year with Slavkovsky, and now they're going off the board again with David Reinbacher. So who is David Reinbacher? Thought he would be there, like around there, like 50-50 he'd be there when the Canucks made their pick. What that means now is someone in this top 10, because remember Reinbacher was number 11, someone in this top 10 will be available when the Vancouver Canucks make their pick. There's only 5 more picks in the first round. I keep in mind, Sandin Pellikka, I have no interest in Sandin Pellikka. But that is big. Let's get your reaction. Jaskaran says, oh, wow. Okay. Thank you, Luigi. TW says Carey Price's controller disconnect. I was confused because my TV feed broke again, as it does up here. Erwin says Montreal make draft waves again. Japan saying watch the D-men go quickly now. That is, that's very possible, and would be very interesting if like Sandin Pellikka came in the next couple of picks and a guy like Simashev went in the next couple of picks. Then we're talking of a guy like Leonard maybe being available for the Canucks, which could be very, very interesting. Or a guy like Michkov being available. 5 picks to go before your Vancouver Canucks, if you are a Canucks fan watching me, which I'm sure most of you are, until the Canucks are on the clock. That is Trey's interesting to stay in the Montreal theme. I do speak French, as you could tell right there. Let's see here. Jimmy Grimmy says he's a great / big right-hand D, right? Makes sense for value. Sure. And that is fair, right? Guys who are going to have trade value in the next couple of years, or guys who are hard to acquire, big, very good right shot defensemen are hard to get. So value-wise, sure, he might have been one of the better values available. And I was talking about this on Canucks After Dark on Monday. That's sort of what I subscribe to, more so than best player available is best value available, right? You do have to, 2 guys who are the same, who one's a center, one's a winger, the center's worth more. 2 guys who, one's a center, one's a right shot D-man. The right shot D-man's probably worth more, especially if it's like a 2C versus like a second pairing right shot D-man. I think that right shot D-man has more value too. So that is a very interesting thing to keep track of. Kelsey says, I was really hoping he would slide to Vancouver. I don't know if that, not many people had him there, right? Like, let's see, our list had, like, the best ranking was 6 out of all of our lists. His worst was 7, or his worst was 23. So, and I guess Montreal had him higher than 6 because only 4 people had gone before him. That is very surprising. Jimmy's asking why I don't like ASP. There's been a lot of again, I haven't watched much tape. And his name stood out a lot in the World Juniors. I think because he has a very interesting name. I think that biased me a little bit. Apparently, there's just been a lot of slander going on about Axel Sandin Pellikka, and that stresses me out. He's very low on a lot of lists, right? On our list here, his best ranking was 5th. His worst was 26th. That's the biggest gap out of anyone in the top 10, which scares me, right? Like, it's really boom or bust, and his boom doesn't seem that fantastic. TW says ASP looked out of place defensively in the SHL. Fair enough. Let's see here. Fangirl saying, what's Arizona going to do here? Arizona Arizona feels like they need some boosts quick, right? They've got Gunther stepping into the NHL this year. You know, they're sort of on the ropes with this whole arena thing. Apparently they're doing an announcement later on what they're going to do, like on like an arena thing. But like with how bad Arizona has been and like how disastrous they've been, you got to wonder if a guy like Michkov gets enough buzz in Arizona, because he's not going to be there for a while, right? Like that would be a concern potentially. So I don't think they go Michkov, but who knows? Who knows? TW says when you have Quinn Hughes, ASP is a little redundant. He needs to be running a power play 1. That might be fair. The thing is, right, ASP probably wouldn't be on power play 1 for like 3-4 years, most likely. Anyways. Ollie says, how long is it between picks in the first round? I think it's a 5-minute clock, but it takes way longer than that. The first pick was made at 4:23, I think. So we're coming in once every about 6 or 7 minutes at this point. It will get faster, especially once you get, because there's all the like showiness going on right now, that, you know, will get, doesn't matter as much when you get to picks 18, 19 and so on. So they'll start firing a little bit quickly once you get past probably like pick 10, I would imagine. They'll probably keep it slow for like the Canucks because it's on Sportsnet, and then like once you get to 12, it'll probably get slower. So the Coyotes are on the podium as of right now. I do love the suits. The all burgundy suits looking fresh. Here we go. Need some volume. Oh. They're bringing Janikowski up to make the pick? Okay. Simashev, the defenseman run. The defenseman run is going off right now. Dmitry Simashev going to Arizona. He was 15th on our big board. His best placement was 5th. He lands at 6th. His worst rating across all of our boards was 38th. So we have back-to-back D-men off the board. Now, what does this mean for the Canucks? That means they might be trading back if they don't have a D-man they like. I mean, they do like Willander, apparently. But that now means that there's going to be a really good forward available once we get to pick 11. Oh, boy. So Simashev's gone. Which means, yeah, the Canucks probably aren't getting a D-man. Which I don't care about that much. I want fun. Forwards are fun. There's no rhyme or reason behind why I'm saying that. Just it's fun. So Simashev at 6. Let's catch up on some comments here. Jaskrin says Arizona looks like someone belongs in the 6th round. Maybe. We'll see how Simashev is in a couple of years. Let's pull up Simashev's Simashev. Simashev's an 05 birthday, so one of the younger players, I imagine. So, for example, Elite Prospects had him at 10. Craig Button had him at 38. Right? Like, there's a big... Like, Hockey News had him at 30. McKean's had him at 9. Dauber had him at 8. You know, they're like, NHL Central Scouting had him at 19th among Europeans. Like, that is a huge discrepancy. Phenomenal skater, though. Right? And that's one of those things that translates. If you can be a fantastic skater, that's, you know, he might end up being a very good pick. However, seemingly a little bit off the board. And with the Canucks at 11, I mean, now I'm thinking, if you're the Canucks, trade into 7. Trade for Michkov. Trade into 7 before Washington can take Michkov. That would be so baller. Oh, it would be such a baller move. It would be such a baller move. All right, what else do we got? People were not stoked on Simashev getting picked. People wanted Simashev for the Canucks, which is fair. There goes my TV feed again, and we're back. TW thinks a talented center is going to fall, right? I mean, you look at Leonard, Dvorsky, and Moore are all there, right? And there's only 4 picks ahead of the Canucks. Dvorsky would be fun. All of them would be fun, honestly. I haven't seen much on Oliver Moore. I need to do a little bit more research just instead. In case... Oh, we got our first commercial tonight. Let's mute that. Don't need those. I'm going to take a little look at Dalibor Dvorsky. Everything's got him pretty up high. That would be fun. A guy like Dvorsky would be fun. All right. Danny G or Danny G. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce his name. Nerd says that he said that Simashev is the best skater in this draft, defensive skater in this draft. Yeah, that was a given. He's an unreal skater. I like that Wuhan put in who's still available when I do have it all right here. But thank you for thank you for your contribution. Gabe Perreault, I don't have much interest in. Again, I'm really just basing down the fact that he's 14th on the list. JC says, I don't care who you trade. Canucks, get Michkov. The thing is, the Canucks probably would not be willing to trade a roster player to move up because they want to make the playoffs this year. And then not having Michkov for 3 years, would be I could see why they'd be against that. But yeah, if it takes, like, what does it take, you think, to move up 4 spots from 11 to 7? Right? What do you think it takes? Does it take a Höglander? Does it take more? It probably takes a little more, right? Maybe a Höglander and a 3rd and a 4th? Throw that in for good measure? I don't know. Would I do that? Probably. I probably would. That'd be pretty sweet. What else do we got here? Oli says Simashev made a good impression, which Michkov didn't. Everyone talks about the Capitals taking Michkov. That's why I'm saying you trade to 7. You trade to 7 right above the Capitals. Steal him from them. But that has not happened. Philadelphia's pick is in. It's interesting that they have Zach Benson on this list as just a forward. What position does Zach Benson play? He's also a local boy from Chilliwack. Everyone's got him top 10. What position does he play? Elite Prospect says he plays forward. That doesn't help me. Interesting. Okay, whatever. Wuhan says it takes Silas Podkolzin in the 11th. Again, it hasn't happened. I still might do that, though. All right. Philly is up on the podium. Danny Briere looks like a ghost. He is so pale. They're going to thank everybody. Of course, of course, of course, of course. Benson's a right winger. Someone says, and Kai says he's left winger center. Jimmy says left winger center. Okay. So it's interesting that they put him as an F on Elite Prospects. All right, here comes Briere. They went Michkov. So trading up, I guess, wasn't an option because they were taking him themselves. Matvei Michkov, sadly, goes to the Philadelphia Flyers. I have a friend that is a Flyers fan. He is going to be absolutely stoked, I am sure. Darn it. That is unfortunate. Darn, that would have been so cool. All right. So there's risk. There's risk, but man, Michkov is good. He is going to be real good. And yeah, they're not going to be it anytime soon, as you said, Ryan. That's got to suck for Washington, eh? Washington's probably thinking, like, man, could we have traded up to Arizona's pick? Who knows, though? Jaskrin says, I wonder what Ovechkin thinks of this. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Is Ovechkin still going to be playing when when Michkov gets here in 4 years? You know? Does Philadelphia try to kidnap him before he can leave the country while he's still here? Who knows? Maybe that's the move. Wuhan thinks that their Caps are going to take Leonard. Kai is praying for Benson or Dvorsky, but leaning towards Benson. Benson is the top available on our list. That seems unlikely it is going to fall 11, but we're only 3 more picks until the Canucks will be on the clock. All right, good time to refill some cranberry juice. Cheers. Ryan is very against taking Willander at 11. I agree. My thought is, you're going to have one of Benson, Leonard, Dvorsky, or more available to you, right? It feels like that should be a route that you take, because that seems like just seems easy. I'm very much on the don't overthink this sort of thing train. What is going on? My feed keeps breaking. All right, the Caps are on the clock. Just juice, no extras, for sure. Yeah, I would never put anything else in this this cranberry juice. I actually did put a little 7-Up in it. Give it a little spice. And it's good for Philly, right? Because they're sort of in this total reboot. They're going to have a guy who's not playing for them this year. They can be the worst team in hockey next year and then get one of the top picks next year, and they'll be stoked. Alrighty. What else do we got? Jasper is asking if I'm streaming the entire first round. So I'll give an update for those of you who joined after we started, folks. Obviously on the left, we have all the picks. Obviously on the right, we have all the best available, the next 20 best available players. And up top, we got any breaking news going on. My plan, as it currently stands, is as long as there are enough people here that are enjoying this and we are having a good time, then we'll go deep in the first, because we're going to learn about some people. This is going to be a good learning experience. Have I ever heard of, for example, number 27 on our list, Riley Heidt? No, I've never heard of this guy, but it'll be fun to look him up with all of you. So the plan is, if this isn't too slow of a draft, then we'll run through the whole thing. If we are miserable, if the Canucks have a guy like Benson available at 11 and they pick Tom Willander, and I am sad, then maybe we end. We will have a programming note as well. We will have Canuck Clay joining the show right after the Canucks pick with his reaction, which will be fun for a short period. So stay tuned for that as well. Ollie says one of the top 4 on Parker's list. I like that you guys think this is my list. Yeah, I came up with this. I just said I've never heard of this guy, but I came up with this. No, it is an amalgamation of 16 of the top, basically 16 rankings out there. So for reference, Zach Benson, who's next highest on our list, his best ranking was 5th. His worst is 17th. A guy like Ryan Leonard, his best ranking was 5th. His worst was 22nd. So there's some big fluctuations. It looks like the Washington Capitals are walking up to the podium. Wuhan's never heard of Quentin Musty. Neither have I. Kai thinks the Caps are going to go Dvorsky. Where's Dvorsky from? Is he is he Belarusian? Uh where is he from? Does anyone know where Dvorsky's from? I don't know flags very good. Is that Slovakia? He's from, oh my god, it doesn't say. Slovakia. Oh my god. It's a Russian flag with a crest on it, Slovakia. Fair enough. I was going to say if he's Russian then that's what everyone thinks. All right. Unplugged wants Benson or Moore. And they go with Ryan Leonard. Ryan Leonard going to the Capitals, who was 7th on our list. They get him at number 8. A nice little pick for them. Which means Zach Benson is still available as we adjust our boards here. Let's take Leonard off the list. Let's add number 28 to our list. Welcome, Daniil Butt. Sure. Unless he's French, then it's boo, but whatever. Slovakia, thank you for all the Slovakias. Jaskaran thinks Dvorsky is Halak 2.0. Sorry, do we think Dvorsky is a goaltender? Just because he's from the same place? Interesting. So the Canucks are 2 picks away. Just 2 picks away. Let me start my virtual camera so I can join this Zoom with Clay when he is ready. See if he's texted me here. He has not done that yet. Nerds wants Benson or Moore. I'm assuming you said Nux and it auto-corrected to Nuts. That's fair. TW's nervous about Detroit. Such a wild card. Wild cards are good. You want them to pick someone weird. If Detroit picks somebody like Nate Danielson, then that means that Benson or Dvorsky's available, which is hype. Kai also thinks the Red Wings might go Willander. That might be my best case scenario. Because I'm not super sold. Like, Willander seems good and whatever, but he's ranked 20. I don't want to pick the guy ranked 20 with our 10th pick or 11th pick. That seems silly. So if Detroit takes Willander and the Canucks can't take him, then sure. The thing is, Detroit's gone so big with so many good defensemen that if they do pick Willander, then you know he's going to be good, which is unfortunate too. Let's see here. Jasper asked what I think of Matthew Wood. What position is he? He just says F again. Right wing. From Nanaimo. I don't care about local boys, you know. What's the scouting report on Matthew Wood? Wrist shot is much better than the start of the season. He keeps distance between his feet and his hands in front, really putting that top arm back, moving across his body, shoot their opponents. He can shoot off either foot and even in motion. In moments, he shows chaining ability, whether that was receiving a pass, fighting off pressure, and passing for an assist, or toe dragging around a stick inside the pass reception before cutting inside for the shot. So he's a sniper. I don't want a sniper. I want a guy who's fast. I want a guy who's fast and has skill. Snipers scare me. Apparently from TW says that Scott Wheeler has Willander going to Detroit. Interesting. They have 2.5 minutes left on the clock. The BC Force play all positions, says Roadster. Apparently that is just the case. Yeah, I think Vertanen might have skewed my judgment of local guys, which might not be fair. All right. Unplugged wants Moore or Benson. It's possible. You don't like Dvorsky? Unplugged? What's your problem with Dvorsky? Oh, the Ducks did just unveil their 30th anniversary jersey. Do I have... Am I able to show this? No, I'm not able to show this. Darn. Maybe I am. Let's see if I can show it. Uh-oh. I'm going to break everything trying to show you guys. I want to see this jersey. Let's do this. Let's do this. I don't need desktop audio. Let's see this Ducks jersey. 30th anniversary jersey. Oh, what is that? Okay. Lettering's fine. Numbers are fine. What is that logo? I like that. I like that little shoulder crest that says Anaheim. That's cool. Obviously, the eggplant color. Hot. It says Mighty in the collar. That's sick as well. That logo is interesting. I don't know why they wouldn't just go with like the classic. I like this too. On the sleeve, like the embossed name, Anaheim Ducks, established whatever year. I'm not, again, color scheme's great. I just don't know if I'm sold on that that front crest. Interesting. All right. Let's go back to our draft coverage. Clay says hello. Clay's not joining us anymore, by the way. He is bailing on us. So sorry about that. Programming note. Do we got pick coming? All right. Stevie Y is up to the plate. We'll see what he's doing. Jaskrin says Dvorsky will also play in Sweden for 2 years at least, so Canucks might not want to wait. No one picked around 10th is... Oh, we're then? Nate... What did I say? What did I say? Did I not say the Red Wings are going to do something crazy like take Nate Danielson? Something with the gift of prophecy. I don't know. That is Nate Danielson going to the Detroit Red Wings. Meaning the Canucks will get one of Zach Benson or Dvorsky or more if they are so inclined. That is big. He was number 16 on our list. He is now getting removed. Goodbye, Nate Danielson. And hello, number 29, Ethan Gauthier. I don't know. Wow. The Canucks could get Zach Benson. St. Louis. St. Louis is the only thing between the Canucks and Zach Benson. That could be big. The dream's alive. Yeah, Clay saying Simashev and Danielson picked higher than expected. We have options. We sure do. The options are aplenty. That makes me scared. What if, don't pick Willander if Benson is available and Dvorsky is available. Oh, I'd be so sad. Don't take Sandin Pellikka. Oh, okay. Just don't get silly. Like, here's the thing. I get that they have all these scouts that they pay money and like, what do you need them for? Just go with the consensus ranking and pick the top guy, right? Because then no one can be mad at you. Yeah, they can't trade back now. The Canucks cannot trade back now. No way. Oh boy. Now, what makes me kind of sad about this is that the Canucks had the 17th overall pick too, which now Detroit has for that Ronick deal. Like, someone like Matthew Wood might be available at 17. Oliver Moore might be there. So like, there's whatever. Just don't overthink it. Take the best player available. Don't take Tom Willander if Zach Benson or Dalibor Dvorsky is on the board. Please. Now I'm stressed. Now I'm just stressed. Zach Benson's a Langley boy. You can't not take the Langley boy. You know? Okay. Shraz, who's the Russian player people are home the Canucks still at 11? Yeah, it was Simashev who went 6. Yeah, Sandin Pelech is available. That scares me. So it just seems like less upside than a guy like Benson. Benson's a stud. Don't trade back, please. I know Hronek was the Canucks' biggest need. I know. But a first and a second in this draft would be nice. An extra one. Warrior thinks that maybe they take Willander. That would be best case, because then the Canucks can't. Okay. Wuhan thinks the Blues will take ASP. Oh, we're going to commercial. Yeah, Bedard is signing that contract, it looks like. Good on him. Oh, don't be stupid. Don't be stupid. This is stressful. This is stressful. Apparently, Patrick Allvin and the Sabres GM are having a discussion. Patrick Allvin is now on the phone. Panic. Everybody panic. Patrick Allvin is on the phone. Panic. Let me tweet out. Everyone panic. Don't do something stupid. Clay says keep drinking. This is just cranberry juice and 7-Up. But I will keep drinking it. It is tasty. Sakaris is saying maybe they trade down to 13 because Buffalo is at 13. But like, don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. Unless they really like Willander and they want to trade down a couple spots and add a second. But like, come on. If you're getting 6th overall value at 11th overall, it should take a lot to trade down from there. Now, I guess if St. Louis goes off the board and then you're getting a guy like Dvorsky at 13, then whatever. But like, take Benson. Take Benson. Sabres or St. Louis, don't do anything dumb. Or do something dumb. Yeah, no, we want St. Louis to do something dumb. Zach says maybe 11th overall for 15 and 24. That's Nashville with 15. They weren't talking to Nashville. They were talking to Buffalo at 13. It was like, but yeah, I mean, maybe Nashville wants to trade up too. I'd be okay with that, trading down 4 picks to add another first. That seems unlikely. What'd they say? St. Louis went Dvorsky? Okay. Zach Benson is available. Dvorsky. Okay. Dvorsky's off the board. The Canucks are on the clock. Zach Benson's available. Zach Benson is available. Zach Benson's best rating was 5th. Worst was 17. The Canucks might have him. Maybe he's not their top of their board right now. Oh, don't pick Willander. Don't pick Willander. JD Burke guesses that the Canucks are just going to take Willander at this spot. Roadster saying now I have to wonder why is Benson dropping. That's fair. Everyone on Twitter wants Benson. Just run to the podium. Sprint to the podium. Just run up there and take him before anyone can say anything else. Just be smart. Just be smart. Don't you dare trade down. Don't trade the pick. Just take the good player. Just take the good player. Isn't this fun? Isn't this fun, guys? Don't you love this? Isn't this not stressful at all? The future of the Vancouver Canucks hanging in the balance if they take a bad player. All those games that the Canucks won at the end of the season, all those games the Canucks won to drop their draft position, you can make up for it all by taking Zach Benson at 6. Just take him. Take the good guy. Take the good player from Langley. He doesn't even have to go anywhere. He probably loves the Canucks. It's easy. It's an easy pick. I am stressed. The Canucks just tweeted that the Vancouver Canucks are on the clock. Cam Robinson says, if I'm a betting man, I'd say it's Tom Willander going 11. Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. Don't make me suffer. I thought the draft was going to be fun. It's fun that, like, we've been rooting for players to drop, right? That's been the entire point. We've been rooting for players to drop so the Canucks could make a move. The point of players dropping wasn't to just take the guy you were going to take anyways, right? Like, did they really have Willander like 6th on their board to the point where he's above Benson and he's above Moore? Like, that seems unlikely. It just seems silly. Like, if you're going to take Willander, trade down. Don't be silly. Don't be silly. Take the damn good player. Take the good guy. Willander will probably be sick. Willander will probably be really good. But, like, take Zach Benson. They're doing a lot of talking. They've got the jersey ready, though. The pick is in. They're saying, even on Sportsnet, they're saying they're going to see a run of defensemen starting with Tom Willander. Here they go. You guys having fun? They're not trading down. The pick is in. I don't know who this kid is, but he's just staring at all the draft. He's trying to get intel from all the draft tables. He's like staring them all down. Oh, it's Francesco. Did Francesco just cut Jim Rutherford off in the walk-up? Here we go. Here comes Tom Willander. Here we go. Don't be dumb. Who's announcing it? All right, Patrick's going up to the mic. They went Willander. They picked Willander. They didn't pick Benson. They didn't pick Moore. They picked Willander. He didn't even waste any time. He didn't thank Nashville. He didn't say congrats to Vegas. He just said, we're taking Willander. Thank you very much. I'm out. All right. Well, good thing we got excited about people dropping. Tom Willander. Tom Willander. Let me scroll down to 20 on our list to remove him. He'll probably be really good. He'll probably be a good defenseman. He'll probably be good. He'll probably be good. He's a right man. He's a right D. Let me just take Zach Benson. Just take the guy. All right. Are we having fun? Are we having fun with how this is going? Is that... Oh, it's Willander. He has the exact same hair as Pettersson did. His role model is Miro Heiskanen. Good pick. He does have that classic blonde Swedish hair. Why is everyone sweet? The Canucks are going to have an entirely Swedish team. Everyone's going to be Swedish. Everyone's going to be Swedish. All right. He looks the same as Pettersson. All right. Brendan Clack says, smooth skating two-way game, solid floor of a second pairing D. So a floor of a second pairing D. That sounds great. You get a number 4 D man floor. They had him at 16. The Canucks haven't taken a defenseman in the first 2 rounds in the last 5 years, according to Rick Dollywall. All right, let's get the oh my god, I'm rattled. They say transitional two-way defenseman with added offense, not a physical player but not shy about battling, deceptive and confident when making plays. They have him projected as a middle pairing defenseman, so a 3-4D. Let's look at the elite prospects blurb. Willander's value stems from the combination of high-end skating and motor. He's always engaged defensively, using his dynamic posture and evasive footwork to guide attackers away from the middle and break up plays along the boards. When you have the fact that he's both strong and skilled physically and relentlessly competes for every puck, he's a nightmare to play against. Even if you start or manage to gain an advantage, Willander has the quickness to recover most of the time. Now, what did I say? I said I want a guy who can skate. You know? That's what I want. I want a guy who could skate. And he can skate. And that's good. Zach Benson can skate too. All right. It's a great value position. I did say best value available. They didn't go Sandy Pellikka, which is nice. I'm sure he'll be good. But if we see Zach Benson being electric in 2 years, then I'll be sad. All right. Now here comes Arizona coming up to pick Zach Benson, probably. That could... it's crazy that it would go in this order. That they've got... if they went Simashev at 6 and then Benson at 12, when you'd think maybe the opposite could happen. But, man, Arizona just got one of the best defensemen in the draft and is now going to get one of the best forwards in the draft at 12, most likely. Unless they really just want to shore up their D and take Sandy Pellikka. Let's hear what Alvin's saying. Coming into the season, they were high on him. Smart player. Right shot defenseman. Very impressive in the second half. Mobility. Ability to defend. There was some discussions about moving. This was the guy we wanted. All right, fair enough. Fair enough. Thanks, Alvin. Whatever. Jaskrantz says Parker's mad. Everyone's going to be Swedish. I feel like if you pick everyone from the same place, maybe you're being a little biased. Unless other people are biased against them, right? So I don't know. Chris Nelson's livid. TW says Willender's going to college next year to adjust to the smaller rink. Yep, we'll see how that goes. If anything, smaller rink is easier for defensemen. You know, much less distance to cover. Coyotes are taking. Whoa! Zach Benson was available. Oliver Moore was available. Matthew Wood, Colby Barlow, Gabe Perreault, Edward Sale, Andrew Cristall, Quentin Musty, Callum Ritchie, Brendan Yeager, Samuel Honzik, Otto Stenberg, Galvin Brindley, all forwards that are still available. Same with Riley Height. And Arizona takes number 28 on our list, Daniel Boo. Leave it to Arizona. Leave it to Arizona to take someone who no one thought they would be able to, no one thought they would reach for. Classic. Daniel Boo. Daniel Boo. Couldn't trade down for that guy? Come on. Let's be real here, guys. All right. Coyotes going off the board, 28th pick. His best ranking was 7 in our draft board. His worst ranking was 48th. Might be a little concerning. But Daniel Boo is a Arizona Coyote. 6'5", 203-pound left winger. And he's Russian. It's interesting to go that far down the board with the Russian factor. You'd think that most of the Russians are going to be falling a little bit. Surprising to see them potentially reach for one. I mean, he played 15 KHL games last year. He had 2 goals, no assists, right? And he was a point per game in the junior league in Russia, which is fine. But classic Arizona, really. Coyotes being the Coyotes. Quote on Daniel Boo. The first thing that jumps out to you with Boo is once you get past the way he towers over everyone on the ice, just how coordinated, dexterous, and creative he is with the puck on his stick. His ability to chain difficult pass receptions to handling moves and handling moves into passes or shots is really quite remarkable. Not even just for someone his size either. On top of that, he's a potent finisher, capable of getting a shot off on either leg with a quick release and almost textbook mechanical form. That's cool. That sounds cool to have textbook mechanical form as a hockey player. I don't know if that's good, but he's got textbook form. Yeah, no one is very impressed with this Arizona pick. I'm sure he's surprised to go this early. Honestly, for a guy like him, you're showing up to the draft not even knowing if you're going to get picked today, right? Your average rating is 28th. You just might not go today. Wuhan thinks Buffalo will take Benson. All right, now we're on commercial. We're 12 picks in an hour and a half. So we're on pace for about a 4-hour round here, just like a good old round of golf, which isn't ideal. We'll hang out. We'll keep her going. There's 116 of you in here, guys. We got to get the likes up though if I'm going to stick around. Let's get those going. Hit that like button. Did I read the Willander report already? I did. I did. Yes. Good skater, high-end skating and motor. Dynamic posture, evasive footwork, strong, skilled, physical, relentless, etc., etc., etc. Armand says, stop whining about the 17th pick. We got Hronik. Just wait for next season. If Zach Benson's available at 17, though, I mean, come on, Trade back up. trade. You know what? Hey, Buffalo, you guys need a defenseman? You guys want Philip Ronick? Like 13th? The Canucks don't have anything to trade up at this point. I mean, their next pick isn't for a while. Canucks draft. Let's just go cap friendly. They have all the draft picks on there. So they don't have a second. They have 2/3, 3/4, and a 6th. So they have technically 6 picks left, as you would expect. But 2 are in the 3rd and 3 are in the 4th. No 5th, no 7th, and no 2nd. So yeah, the Canucks don't have any ammo to get up into the first round, unless they were trading a guy like Connor Garland. But from what we've heard, he doesn't have a ton of value. Max is asking if Benson's not getting picked because he's 5'9". Maybe. That seems so silly though. Like, learn your lesson. You know, we saw Cole Caulfield. He's been sick, right? I didn't realize he's only 5. No, he's listed at 5'10", 159. Come on, show some respect. I'm sure that 5'10" is very legit. Like when I say I'm 5'11", which I'm not. All right, the Buffalo Sabres are walking up to the stage. Nerd says that Faber's going to cry. His pick today was Benson if available. That sucks. That is sad. What else do we got going on here? Armand says, honestly, I would have taken Benson over Verlander. I think most people would. Like, I mean, all the ratings were Benson over Verlander. I mean, if we just look up mock draft NHL, and let's pick this, let's grab the NHL one. Let's grab the Sportsnet one. Zach Benson goes to Buffalo at 13. Imagine how tough that's got to be for Zach Benson, knowing like, oh, the Canucks are here. I've dropped. They're going to get, like, I'm going to stay in Vancouver. No, you're going to Buffalo, my guy. Sorry. Where was Zach Benson picked in these other ones? The NHL mock draft had him at 9th and 14th, actually. That's interesting. Interessante. Chris says Blender's a good D given what was left. At least we didn't pick another winger or a smaller D like Sandy Pellick. Yeah, I wasn't big on Sandy Pellick either. Again, I'm not too against wingers. Oh boy. Morla says no trades tonight. Nothing during the draft. Greetings from Austria. Welcome. That is our farthest check-in, I think. Anyone farther than Austria? Where else are you people watching from? JC Van Dam saying maybe Pittsburgh still wants Miller. They are at 14th. Although Benson's gone now, right? Gets a little less exciting. Are you trading Miller for like Oliver Moore? A little less intriguing, I think. We want to think that the Pens take ASP. That would be interesting as well. Sion is from Armenia. Cool. Very cool. I guess Armenia. Is it Armenia or yeah, it's Armenia. Sorry. Kalen from Nova Scotia. Getting late there. Chris from New Zealand. Oh, so it's early. It's like noon. Leah from Barbados. That is surprising. Zess said Canucks draft for a positional lead. It helped that he was a Swede. Fair. And I mean, they seem to have really liked him. Like, he's been the name floating around for a long time. So, we'll see. Chris says, when is Willander's ETA? Great question that I actually haven't looked at. Let's find a scouting report. He's actually a teammate of Sandy and Pellica. That's interesting. Leans top 4 NHL defenseman. Doesn't say when. Projection as a middle pairing D. This is a fun rating. So skating, 9 out of 10. Hockey IQ, 8 out of 10 across the board. Physicality, hits, 1 out of 10. So he doesn't hit. Heavy / leans, I guess like rubbing guys out on the boards, 3 out of 10. Energy, physically, I guess, is 8 out of 10. Offensively, he's a 5 out of 10 scorer, Willander, an 8 out of 10 playmaker, and an 8 out of 10 power play contributor. So maybe a power play 2 option in the future. And then defensively, he's a 7 out of 10 all around. So a projection of a middle pairing defenseman. I want to see when he's projected to make the NHL. I mean, he's going to college next year. You have to wonder if they're going to, like, if he's going to do most of college or like 2 years or what they're going to want to do. Maybe 2 years. 2 years sounds like, you know, kind of like 2 years in college and then, or maybe 1 year in college and then AHL, or 2 years in college and then, you know, get your diploma maybe. David's watching from Toronto. JC Van Dam watching all the way from Coquitlam. Welcome. I know that is a long way for the video feed to get to. Armand is watching from Surrey. Surrey represent. Let's go. Fantilli has about 125 people at the draft for him. That's crazy. What's that? Here goes Kyle Dubas up to the podium for the Pittsburgh Penguins. He's looking fresh. He's looking clean. Kyle Dubas with the 14th pick for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Does he go more? Does he go Sandy Pellica? Dubas is getting booed, hey? Surprising. I like Dubas. All right. Who is Kyle Dubas going to pick? Braden Yager. Yager bombs in Pittsburgh. Braden Yager, 19th on our board. He was 19th. Best was 10th. Worst was 33rd. Which is actually like that range, 10 to 33. It's one of the lower ranges once you get to this point. There's a lot of guys who have like really far down, really like their best and worst as a big gap. So Braden Yager off the board. Oliver Moore is still there. Jaden Perron, welcome to the big board. So Sandy Pellica is still available. Oliver Moore is still available. You got to think Sandy Pellica is coming off soon with 3 defensemen getting picked already. You know, that just makes sense, right? He's the next best defenseman available. And then it's quite a big drop off to Gulyayev, who's a defenseman who I've never heard of before. Who's also Russian, I believe. So it would make sense that, you know, maybe that brings his grade down a little bit, and that might increase Sandy and Pellica's value right now. Wuhan says it's filling. They used to have Yager. Now they have Yager. That's fair. Jaskaran is upset. Fair. I'm a little upset too. Joel is from Sweden and doesn't want the Canucks to only go for Swedish players. The Canucks just will be the Swedish national team, which would be pretty cool, but unlikely. Ryan Ross says trade with Calgary and take Moore. We need speed in our prospect pool. What are you giving to Calgary to move from the 3rd round to 15th or 16th overall, right? That seems a little tough. Tetris says Guliev is amazing in franchise hockey manager. I don't know if that translates. Paul is sad. He misses Dubas as a Leafs fan. Welcome back, Paul. Good to see you. Oh, Ryan, you're from Alberta. Okay, interesting. So who's next? It's Nashville. David Poyle's last draft. Now, Nashville's had some talks apparently about Askarov, which would be interesting if he gets involved. Jaskran says, I think the Ducks chose Leo Carlson because they already had so many Americans. Fantilli's Canadian. Jaskaran. I don't know if that's the case. Chris says, after taking Lekarimaki, or however you spell it, after taking Lekarimaki, I think taking D is a smart choice. That's fair. It's probably not a bad move. But again, best player available always. But we'll see. I love that they're all like, you're like, how do you enjoy Nashville? Like, these kids are all 18. They can't drink. They can't do anything in Nashville. Like, they can't go to like a country bar. But yeah, you enjoy Nashville where you can't do anything fun. All right. This is the Predators' highest selection in the draft since 2020. They drafted Askarov 11th overall in that draft. Their pick is in, so they're not making any moves. Still no trades in the top 15. I was clearing out. I had this in the streaming software. You have these scenes set up, right? So that way I can go quickly between like one that's all my face and one that is my draft setup, right? I had this set up from last year still, and I had put all the logos of the other teams like along the side here. Whatever trades were made, there was quite a few that I had to adjust. And no, none this year. No trades in the top half of the draft here, unless there's a trade at the Calgary pick, which seems unlikely. TW says the Canucks roster is dominated by Americans by nationality. There's only like 3 Swedes in the Canucks roster. Yeah, but like everything they've been doing has been Swedish. You know, like Lekarimaki last year is the first pick. And then this year they pick Willander, a Swede. Like they seem to be focused on the Swedish guys. You know what I mean? BPA is a lie. Marcus said solid pick. I think they really missed out on Benson. We'll see. We will definitely see. Here we go. Nashville Predators, hometown team, is on the clock. They are on the stage. You can see them right there. It would be amazing if Sportsnet found a way to copyright strike me with just this portion of the TV showing. I'm not even showing it because I'm trying to give you guys a hint of what's going on. That's just where my TV is. Alvin is also Swedish. Thank you, Jaskaran. Matthew Wood going to the Preds. Matthew Wood. So we'll take him off our list at 12th overall. David Amber does say, and there it is, after every single pick, which is fun. Welcome to the big board. Oscar Fisker Molgard. Oh, that guy. He's got to be Swedish, right? Can we get him? Can we pick this guy next? What a sick name. Oscar Fisker Molgard. Maybe he'll be there in the 3rd. So Matthew Wood going to the Nashville Predators. Let's pick up his. He was ranked 12th on our big board. 6'3", 190 pounds. February birthday. His best ranking was 7th. His worst ranking was 37th. That 37th. Elite Prospects had him at 16, basically where he got picked. Bob McKenzie thought he would go 11th or around 11th, where the Canucks picked. Matthew Wood, 34 points in 35 games, so a point per game at the University of Connecticut. His wrist shot looks much better at the start of the season. He keeps a distance between his feet and his hands in front. Didn't we talk about this guy already? Maybe not. Really pulling that top arm back and moving it across his body to shoot through opponents. That's not physically possible. Can shoot off either foot and even in motion off the inside leg. In moments, we did talk about this guy. He's got the chaining ability. Okay, we looked him up earlier. You guys know Matthew Wood. We talked about him. Anyway, Matthew Wood to the Nashville Predators, and we are close to the halfway point. Close to the halfway point here. I'm trying to see if I'm trying to see if I'm playing hockey tonight. So I'm a little distracted. Either way, Matthew Wood. So Calgary's on the clock for the next few minutes. We did talk about him. Oliver Moore is still there. Ryan Ross says, Oliver Moore is such a stud. Am I saying something like crazy? Isn't he the best skater in the draft? A super fast scoring center seems valuable to me. No argument there. You say those words, that sounds great. Nerd says, I wish the Canucks as much luck as in my game of Eastside Hockey Manager where I trade OEL for a second plus. Yeah, that's not the real world, unfortunately. People are thinking, so Keelan says Moore goes next. Who wants his Flames will take Moore? Maybe. We will see. Wow, they've got Connor Bedard. You can see him right there in a Blackhawks jersey. Boo. Gross. Yuck. David saying, your journey ends right now. No, wait, what? Maybe like his journey to get drafted, but like, he's 18. Anyway, the Flames pick is in, pick number 16, so we should be ahead of a 4-hour pace. Last year, the stream was 4 hours, 7 minutes. I can't do that again. This one is going to be a fair bit quicker. Joel says, I think Oscar Mulger is Danish. Oh, he is Danish. He plays in the SHL. So that's why I thought he was Swedish. And his name. All right, let me close some of these tabs up here. Let's get TweetDeck back open. Let's see what's going on in the world. Alvin will be available to media very soon in the media room at Bridgestone Arena. So I guess they're done for the day. I want to see where they had Willander. This one thing had him at 29. Gross. So we should get some Alvin quotes coming in shortly. All right. Chris says Calgary must be stoked with who's still on the board. Yeah, you got to think they're going more here. I know THG likes Colby Barlow a lot. That might be an interesting option that they could get away with. Jazzgren says Bedard's going to sign with the Canucks in the future, maybe a washed up version. It does feel like he would go that way, you know. But probably, yeah, we're probably talking 15 years from now. All right, here's Craig Conroy. It is weird seeing Craig Conroy be this old when he like played in the NHL when I was growing up, you know? How old is Craig Conroy? Hey Siri, how old is Craig Conroy? He's 51. He doesn't look like he looks like he's 62. He looks like a pretty rough 51. No offense to Craig Conroy. Sorry to any Flames fans who are mad I just insulted Craig Conroy. Oh, wait. That's Craig Conroy. Okay, that makes way more sense. They put Craig Conroy on the banner, on the Chiron, right below the old guy. He looks way better for 51. Whoa, Samuel Honzik from the Vancouver Giants going to the Calgary Flames. They do like to be the Vancouver Flames, eh? Samuel Honzik. Let's add him to our draft board. And let's add Lucas Dragicevic to the board. Another sick name. And let's pull up our notes on Sam Honzik. Big boy. 6'4", only 185 pounds. So definitely some mass to build at 6'4". That's pretty thin. His best ranking on our board was 12. His worst was 44th. But overall 18th. They pick him at 16th. Not a huge reach. All of them are more dropping continuously here. It's funny. You look at the Red Wings who are on the clock right now. The Red Wings picked Nate Danielson, who was projected to be 16th. And now at 17th, they could get the guy who was number 9 when they had the 9th pick previously, which is interesting. Let's talk about Samuel Honzik. He had 56 points in 43 games for the Giants this year. At the World Juniors, no points for Slovakia in 4 games. He was a -4. Unfortunately, however, for the Giants, 4 points in 4 playoff games, a -7 in those 4 games. Yikes. I don't think the Giants were that good in the playoffs, though. Here is the Elite Prospects quote. Rare is a shift where Honzik's ability to protect the puck doesn't appear. The 6'4" winger gets and keeps defenders on his back check, using body positioning to create offense. But instead of just brute forcing plays, he plays with a ton of finesse. He fakes cutbacks in one direction before going the other, turns to wait for pressure to arrive before accelerating, and combines the edges with in-motion handling to slip around defenders. So, sounds like Calgary gets a decent player. But Calgary is going to be bad. Ryan saying that I just set off a bunch of series. Sorry if that was the case. My bad. Ryan is now hoping that Moore goes to Nashville. They are my 5th favorite team. You guys have 5th favorite teams? You guys think that far down? Come on. I don't have a 5th favorite team. Sure, I would if I thought, but no. Chris thinks Detroit's going to take ASP. It would be on brand. Jaskran says, just realized that St. Louis has 3 first-rounders. They do, yeah. They have 25th and 29th. So they might be going for guys like... Oh, no. When we get... You guys see number 31 on the list here? Guys, I don't know what I'm going to do when I get there. I hope he doesn't get picked in the first round because I can't say that. Is it Grayson Sachin? Gracken? Gracken Sachin. Does it give me a pronunciation? Pronunciation. No idea. Either way. We're back to commercial. No commercials here unless you got a commercial, but I haven't. I think I turned off the commercials during the stream unless you're watching the pay-per-view after. So in return for this free ad-free stream, hopefully you might have had an ad when you clicked on, but ad-free during the duration, hit the like button. It would make me happy. And hit the chat. What Ryan goes Canucks, Panthers, Stars, Canes, Preds. Why do you have the Stars up there? Gross. Josh has like 3 favorites. Yeah, I have one. It's Vancouver. And then it's like, I like Ottawa a bit. But that was because, like, growing up, I had a mini stick that had the Senators logo on it, like a mini hockey stick. And that was, like, the only reason. And it's like, I kind of like them. And I could make a stack ranking of my 32 favorite teams, like in order of worst to best. But for the most part, yeah. Symphonia's here. Hello, Symphonia. Good to see you again. I'm sad the Canucks could have drafted Benson. Aren't we all? Jaskran says, what do you think of the Timo Meier and PLD contracts? I like the Timo Meier contract. He didn't perform in the playoffs, but 8 years, I think 8.8 was Dubois, or sorry, was Meier. Nothing important. 8 years, 8.8 for Meier, I think is good. I think it's fine. He's a heck of a hockey player. The Dubois contract seems a little bit much. Wow, Rick Dollywall with the tweet saying that, let me see if it'll come back up. Jim Nill just won the GM of the Year award for Dallas. Rick Dollywall says Jay Pandolfo is going to be coaching Willander next year. Interesting. Let's see here. Oliver Moore still on the board. I want to see if the pick is in. I don't care about this guy. I don't care about, who is this? It's Fantilli. Fantilli looks so old. Jaskran says, look at the PLD contract. Imagine what Petey's worth. Yeah, he'll be one comparable. Petey's worth 11 plus. Like, it's just what it is. All right. Well, we're now in holding pattern mode as we've had a commercial since the Calgary pick. We still don't have Detroit going up to the podium. We are in full-on waiting mode. Let's talk about the other news that happened. Toronto signs David Kampf for 4 years at $2.4 million. What a disaster that is going to be. Does that remind you of anyone? Like Jay Beagle, maybe? 3 years, $3 million. This is 4 years, $9.6 million. Just way too much money for a fourth line player, essentially. What else happened? The Calgary traded Toffoli to New Jersey for Sharon Govich. I like Sharon Govich. But that seems a bit iffy too. Ryan is sad. So what the biggest surprise has been for me? If you're talking about the draft, I think I'm kind of surprised. I mean, I think it's just how late Zach Benson went at 13. I thought he'd go earlier, like way earlier. Yes, they did sign Sharon Govich too. Was it, 3.1 or something? Yeager, Sharon Govich. Yeah, 3.1 million. He's 25 already? Really? Oh. I thought he was younger. I thought he was like 22. I guess he just turned 25, but like still. But he's a good player. But yeah, maybe he's not Toffoli level, I don't think. All right, Detroit's pick is in. We should have them coming up to the podium shortly. My bet would be on Oliver Moore, potentially. We'll see. Or Sandin Pellikka. Could be on the Detroit wavelength. All right. Stevie Y is walking his way up. Keelan says he likes the Willander pick. Needed defense, but Benson would have been nice. Yeah. Would have been. Would have been nice. Time for another 7-Up mini so I can feel like a giant. All right. Here is Stevie Yzerman. Thanking the fans. There it is. Axel Sandin Pellikka going to the Detroit Red Wings. Let's take him off our list at number 10. And who is next on our list? But none other than Tanner Melendick. So, not a big surprise that Detroit goes Sandin Pellikka. They do like their defenseman. They really like their defenseman. Let's see what his comment is. Sandin Pellikka is an offensive defenseman with legitimate first unit power play upside. His puck skills, playmaking, shot, and the ability to walk an offensive blue line make him a credible scoring threat with the puck on his stick, as does his ability to process options and make plays at speed off the rush. This Swedish blue liner is an engaged defender, particularly stout between the blue lines and along the boards. So that is Sandin Pellikka. I mean, let's look at his stats here. If it'll load, which it does not seem to want to. There we go. He had 5 points in 22 games for the for Skellefteå in the SHL. He had a single point in the World Juniors. He was a -4. That's where I get concerned, right? We're talking about a guy who's like offensive first defenseman. And in the World Juniors, he had a single point. Like that's why I'd be concerned. He made it all the way down to 17. At that point, maybe it's a decent pick. But yeah. So Moore is still there. Will Moore be there for our 3rd round pick? Probably not. Yeah, I like Willander more than Sandin Pellikka though. I think that's fine. All right. We have 15 picks to go. 17 down, 15 to go. We are at the 2-hour, 9-minute mark. We need it to pick up a little, folks. We need some speed in these picks. Whoops. What was that? Weird. All right. Well, let's kill another hour and a half, 2 hours. All right. The Winnipeg Jets with the 18th overall picker on the clock. There's been no trades at all in this draft. It has been a bit of a snoozer. Oliver Moore still there at 9. On our board, still there at 18. Let's take a look at Patrick Bacon's stuff. Top down hockey. He had Sandin Pellikka at 41st overall with a 25% chance of even being an NHLer. I want to see where he had Willander. He had Benson at 41% chance of becoming a star. And he has Willander at 3% chance to become an NHLer. He had him ranked 152nd. Or 112th overall, I should say. Yikes. Yikes. That is a yikes. Keep in mind, the same guy had Simashev ranked 176th. All right, the Jets pick is in. They have picked 18th overall each of the last 3 years, the Winnipeg Jets. That is consistency. That's very weird. Yeah, lots of people talking highly with Lander. I'm not too concerned about that. So Winnipeg and then Chicago again. So Chicago could go Bedard and more back to back. That's crazy. Like that's actually unreal. To go essentially just 1C, 2C potentially in the same draft. Like that is so much value to pull in a single draft, especially when your 1C is then Bedard, right? All right, Winnipeg is walking up to the podium. All right, Kevin Cheveldayoff is up to make the pick. Come on, what are we doing? Colby Barlow going to the Winnipeg Jets, number 13 on our board. Let's put him up here. Colby Barlow. Take him off the list and add the next, Michael Hrabel. Colby Barlow, ranked 13th in our list, best 6, worst 33rd. So a pretty sound pick from Owen Sound. He had 46 goals in 59 games as the captain of the Owen Sound attack last year. 79 points total in those 59 games. 4 playoff games, just 3 goals, no assists. Put up 5 points in the Holinka. Looks like a pretty good player. Barlow can take a puck just about anywhere in his wheelhouse and send it right back on goal with 1 and 2 touch shots, one-timers, and a form-perfect wrist shot with an unlocked top arm, generating a whole lot of downforce. This guy is a sports car. He can get those shots off from either leg, too. He's pretty special to watch. His sense of anticipation is a clear strength, informed by constant scanning away from the puck, and he always times his arrivals into space perfectly to make himself available as a passing option for his line mates. So that is Colby Barlow. Ryan says Coldby Barlow because he's going to Winnipeg. Good one. Holy, he does look old. You are not wrong, Jaskaran. That's absurd. Ryan says, did Moore break his spine on the way to the draft? Maybe. Anyone know why Moore dropped so much? I don't know. His worst ranking on our board was 25th. But his best was 6th. So the Blackhawks are back on the clock. 19th overall. Great. Great. Oliver Moore, the fastest skater in the draft. What else we got? We want to say maybe Hawks take Perot. That wouldn't surprise me at all. Jeez. Barlow had 15 shots on goal in a crucial game. That's sick. 5th most goals out of all draft prospects. Pretty impressive. They've got Willander at the podium right now. So we might get some quotes here relating to the Canucks shortly. Yeah, if Moore and Bedard are playing together on the power play, like Armand's alluding to, that's gross. And then as a second pick, Rachel Dory tweeting out we're in major steal territory for Oliver Perot and Gabe Perot, or Oliver Moore and Gabe Perot. Ken Campbell tweeting out Bobby Clark, 18th overall to Philadelphia in 1969. Colby Barlow, 18th overall to Winnipeg in 2023. What does that mean? What does this mean, LOL? All right, Chicago's pick is in. No trade here. The 19th pick will be by the Chicago Blackhawks. Oh, I'm dropping frames. My apologies. We should be back. Maybe. I am on some good Wi-Fi as of right now. Sorry about that. Oh, we're dropping more frames. Maybe I'll move the metal away from my Wi-Fi antenna. That was my concern with the stream, was that we'd lose some internet, but it looks like we're back. The Red Wings like their Swedes, absolutely. JC said he's glad the Canucks just had to win those games. I mean, hey, they had a shot at Benson. They had Willander ranked higher than Benson, so keep that in mind. One moment. Nothing like a little NHL draft cold. Love it. All right. Kyle Davidson. Oliver Moore. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. So, Chicago gets the 1st and 9th guy on the board. They basically get a 1C, a franchise superstar 1C, and then wow, Ken Campbell responded to my tweet. Hold on, we'll get there. Sorry, I'm just man, what a joke. Yeah, Chicago just gets a casual 1C and 2C in the same draft. Damn it. Like, that sucks. Like, imagine if they were forced to take like Andrew Cristall instead, you know? or Nate Danielson. All right. What did Ken Campbell? So I said, what does this mean? LOL. When he tweeted out that Bobby Clark, Colby Barlow thing. Ken Campbell says, it means I think in a few years we'll be marveling at how low Barlow went 18th. Great leadership qualities, tons of talent and grit. Hey Siri, remind me in 4 years to go back. Oh, well, sorry. Hey Siri, remind me in 4 years to go back to the Ken Campbell tweet about Colby Barlow and how wrong he is. All right. My reminder is set for the 28th of June, 2027. Even if he's right, like he's not Bobby Clark. Come on. Jaskran says Moore's committed to University for next season. That's fine. Good for him. JC says the Hawks didn't overthink. That seems to be the smart way to do things. Carol asked what my thoughts on the 11th section is. I wish they went Benson, but he's probably going to be fine. Willander. Kai says Kyle Davidson should have been GM of the year. He should have been just for that one interview where a guy on the street didn't know it was Kyle Davidson and started asking him hockey questions because that was hilarious. So we're 19 names in. There's 13 picks left. I'm running out of steam. I'm not gonna lie. I'm starting to run out of steam. We're getting to the point where it's all guys I haven't heard about. I don't care who Seattle picks. Valentina then comes in and says, "I love this format." Before settling here, I give the most information, seeing all the picks all the time. Damn it, Valentina! I was trying to leave, and you just bring me right back. Well, we already talked about Oliver Moore twice, so we're not doing it again. How about this? We stick around for 3 more picks. 3 more picks. Which is probably like 20 more minutes. It just takes so long. We're 2.5 hours in and we've had 19 picks. In what, 144 minutes? We're averaging 7.5 minutes a pick, guys. Yeah, we need a trade. Max is right. We need a trade. We need some life. We need some juice. Give us some juice with a trade. Can't believe Ken Campbell responded to my tweet. It's very funny. Wow, guys, the Lotto Max jackpot. Go gamble all your money. Woody's RV World. Could live in one of those. What does this mean? Okay, whatever. All right, Seattle's pick is in. Pick number 20. As we stick around for another few picks. Jaskren says, who wouldn't respond to you? What do you mean? I do not know what you are saying. Je ne sais pas. Man, my internet is struggling, guys. It is putting up a fight. I'm seeing red. Are we still here? YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. Viewers will experience buffering. Sorry. Jeremy says, lose all your money than live in an RV. Perfect combination. Dave says, there's so many gambling ads on TV. Yeah. Have you noticed that? I mean, not that I've had any sponsors, really, but been offered a couple gambling ones. Just not interested. Not like, come on. Valentina says, watched a lot of ParkersPucks videos. That's, well, thank you. As a Kraken fan. Here's your pick, by the way. Seattle is coming up to the podium. Do they pick somebody? There's people hugging. I missed it. Who is this guy? Is it Gabe? Oh, Edward Sale. Okay. That's a fine pick. He's 17th on our board. Let's add him to our list. Let's take him off of our big board. Who are we adding to our big board right now? Nick Lardis. So Edward Sale. Good pick. Projected 17th. His best rating was 7. His worst was 32nd out of our consensus board. 6'1", 168. Has some room to grow from the Czech Republic. So Gabe Perreault still hanging around, but once Perreault goes, like if Minnesota picks Perreault at number 21, then we will have had 20 of the first 21 on our board gone, which is impressive at pick 21. The only one off the board was at 28. And I think that was that Hanzik? No, that was Arizona with Daniil at 12. Is it Saleh? Saleh? I don't know. It's spelled Sale. Saleh. JC saying the NHL needs to take a page from the NFL draft with the amount of segment trades. They need to take a lot of pages from the NFL draft. The NFL draft is much, much more exciting than the NHL draft. All right. Well, now we got like 6 more minutes to kill for the next pick. We could wait around for the Leafs, see who they pick, but that'll be another hour. Hey, my thing saying my internet's garbage went away. That's good. And I just dropped a bunch more frames right when I said that. Tough. All right, the Wild are on the clock. I don't care about the Wild at all. With these internet issues, folks, I think I'm going to wrap up. Thank you all very much for joining. It was fun with the Tom Willander 11th overall pick for the Canucks. We were hoping it would be Zach Benson who went 13th. Didn't happen. I guess their board was different. If you enjoyed, make sure you subscribe. Lots of content coming this year, hopefully. Hit the like button while you're here. I appreciate it. Throw some random words in the chat. It helps me out. I appreciate you all. Have a lovely rest of your first round. But I don't really care about any of these teams left. And it's been slow. Minnesota's pick is in. You could look up who it is, I guess. Yeah. I enjoyed having you all here. Have a lovely night. And I will see you